You're a high school athlete. You want to get recruited, get a scholarship, and play collegiate sports. But are you ready? How do you compare with the thousands of athletes all across the country that are competing for that same scholarship you are? If you're serious about getting recruited, this week's episode has a homework assignment for you. A tool that you can use to help evaluate where you are in the recruiting process and if you indeed are ready to compete for that coveted scholarship aid. This is the tool. This is your assignment. Here's how to navigate and use this recruiting worksheet. Okay, the first thing that I want you to do is download a copy of this Google Sheet document so you can use it on your own. Let me walk you through how to do that. The first thing that you want to do is get out of full screen, exit the full screen. So you'll just click exit full screen or just press escape, and that will get you to where you can see the description of the video. Once you get here, just scroll down the descriptions here of the video, and where it says show more, click that. Once you get that, you'll see everything else that's in the description box. What you want to do now is click on this document right here, the recruiting worksheet. So click on that, and that will bring up the Google Sheet, the recruiting worksheet. Once you get to this point, what I want you to do now is go to File and make a copy. Once you do that, this becomes your own. You can edit it and you can put your information on it. So click on Make a Copy. Just put Copy of Recruiting Worksheet. Now you've got a worksheet that you can use. Okay? So the first thing, looking at this worksheet and what this is, let me explain. This is not a predictor of if or at what level you will get recruited. All this is a snapshot of where you are right now in the recruiting process. When you complete this worksheet, what it will do, it will show you some things that you're doing well. And it will also highlight some areas you might need to do some work in. It will also give you practice looking up and managing information that you will need to be successful in the recruiting process. So here's the worksheet. Now let's get started on how to fill this out and how to use this tool. First of all, everything that's in yellow, that's where you will be filling out and entering your information. So the very first question it asks, what is your dream school? If you could go anywhere in the country at any level and get a scholarship and play, what would that school be? What is your dream school? So I'm just going to do this for myself. So let's say my dream school is Notre Dame. So right here I would type in whatever your dream school is. Mine, I'm going to say Notre Dame. Now, the rest of this, these 9 areas are qualities, individual qualities that college recruiters are going to be looking for. Keep this in mind as you're filling out this self-evaluation. You are going to be competing for scholarship aid, not just against people at your school, not just against people in your city. You're not just going to be competing against people in your state. You're going to be competing nationally against student athletes all across the country for that scholarship aid. So keep that in mind as you're doing this self-evaluation. On all of these qualities, these 9 qualities, I've called them purple cow qualities. On each one of these, there's a link that will take you to, if you're not sure exactly what being coachable character, exactly what that means, what they're going to be looking for, you can click on any of these links, and that will take you to the video that I've put out, and it will describe what college recruiters are going to be looking for in each of these areas. So I'm going to evaluate myself. So I'm going to start with coachable and character. So right here in this box, I feel I'm very coachable and I've got good character, so I'm going to enter a 4 here. And again, this isn't where you want to be. It's not where you were last year. It's where you are right now. So speed, I'm pretty fast. I'm going to put a 4 there. Explosion, I've got a good vertical. I'm going to put a 4 there. I always play fast. I've got great effort. I think I could be a little bit quicker. You know, I can't change direction really well, so I'm going to put 3 there. My academics, and we'll talk about this down below, but I'm a decent student. I could be better. I'm going to put a 3 there. I'm not really big. We're going to talk about size later. Not really big, so I'm going to about average size. I always give great effort. Going to put a 5 there. And my technique is pretty good. I might be able to improve, so I'm going to put a 4 there. Now down here, this will give you an average of all your 9 all of these 9 Purple Cow qualities that recruiters are going to be looking for. But more importantly, it will give you a snapshot, an idea of areas that you're doing well. So looking at this, areas that I'm higher in, you can see areas, athleticism, I might be able to work on my quickness a little bit. My grades, I know I can do better, I might be able to score better on my ACT test. In size, I'm really going to work to get some good lean muscle mass. So this again, a snapshot, things that you're doing well, things that you might be able to improve in. So that's the first part of this, the self-evaluation. The second part of this worksheet is looking to see if you are on track to qualifying academically at an NCAA institution. So the first thing we have to understand, the first thing you have to see is, what are your core courses? What's your GPA in your core courses, and how many core courses have you taken? If you do not know what your school's core courses are, if you don't have a list, if you're not sure, you can click on this link right here, and it will take you to a search engine that you can find what your school's core courses are. So in order to use this, you can either, if you know what your NCAA high school code is, you can type it there, or if you know what your ACT school code is, you can type it there. But you can also just search it by this function here. So I want to find out, I go to Blue Springs High School, I'm going to find out what the core courses are at Blue Springs High School. So Blue Springs is in Missouri, so I'm going to type in the school, the city, Blue Springs, and I'm going to type in the school name, it's Blue Springs, then I'm going to type search. Now there's 2 high schools in Blue Springs. I want Blue Springs. I go to Blue Springs High School, so I'm going to type that. And this will give me, when you scroll down, it's going to give me all the courses at Blue Springs that are qualified as core courses. Basically, again, you can look in episode 17. Basically, these are college prep courses. So now, going back to my worksheet, I'm going to, using that list, I'm going to type in, I'm a sophomore at Blue Springs, so I'm going to type in how many courses I have in each of these areas. So in English, I've taken English both years, so I type a 2 there. I've had 2 years of math, and again, math has to be algebra 1 or above. I've had 2 years of math. I've had 2 years of science, and if your school offers a lab science, at least one of those has to be, one of the courses you needs to be a lab. I've had 2 units of social science, and I've had other courses that includes language, philosophy, and any other courses that are on the core course list that haven't already included in these. I've had 2 units of Spanish, so I'm going to put that there. So right now, after my sophomore year, I can see I've had 10 units of core courses. Okay. Now the next thing you're going to do in those 10 units, and 1 year equals 1 unit, and 1 semester equals a half a unit. So if you have a full unit of English, math, science, that counts as 1 unit. A semester in any of those counts as a half a unit. So now you're going to go through in this section right here, you're going to type in what your grades were in those core courses. So I've had, out of those 10 units, I had 2 units of A, I had 3 units of B, I had 4 units of C, and I had 1 D, and no F's. Okay? So now, looking at this, these total units right here should match the total units taken right there. If it doesn't, then you've entered something wrong in this. But I've got 10 units, and I've got 26 quality points. 26 points in those core courses. So my core GPA, and this figures it automatically for you, my core GPA is 2.6. Okay, so that's the first thing. Core GPA after my sophomore year, 2.6. Have you taken the ACT or SAT? If you have, you'll click this box. If you haven't, you'll click this box. Okay, if you have taken it, and I took the ACT after my freshman year, and my sum score on the ACT was a 60, so you'll type it in there. If you have not taken the ACT or SAT, if you click on this link, it will take you to a site that lists all the test dates for the ACT, all the test dates for the SAT. So if you haven't taken it, based on when those test dates are, type the date you're going to take it in here. Make sure you do that. That's making a contract with yourself. So type the date you plan on taking either the ACT or retaking either the ACT or SAT test there. Okay, now with your current core GPA, my current core GPA is a 2.6. What will my test score need to be eligible at the Division I level and the Division II level? In order to see that, you'll use the sliding scale. So the Division I sliding scale, you'll click on this link right here, and it will take you to the Division I sliding scale. So with my core GPA, it starts at a 3.5. I'm a 2.6 core GPA, so my ACT sum score needs to be a 64. My core GPA is a 2.6. My ACT sum needs to be a 64. So I'll go back to my worksheet here, and I'll type in 64. You can see right now, with my core GPA at a 2.6, using the Division I sliding scale, my ACT sum score needs to be a 64. My score is a 60. So one of two things. In my remaining 2 years of high school, I need to make sure I get my core GPA up above a 2.6, or I need to retake the ACT and get a 64, improve my 60 and get a 64. Now to look at the Division II level. I'm going to click on the Division II sliding scale, me to the copy of the Division II sliding scale. Now make sure when you're using this, we want to look at being a full qualifier. This orange one's for a partial qualifier. We're going to look at the full qualifier. That means you can practice and compete at the Division II level. So I'm going to go down again. My core GPA is a 2.6. So I'm going to scroll down where it says core GPA 2.6. My sum score needs to be a 56. So with a 2.6 core GPA, my ACT sum score needs to be a 56. So I'll go back to my worksheet, and on the worksheet I'll type in 56. That's what my sum score needs to be. And again, now you can see at the Division II level, with a core GPA of a 2.6, my ACT sum score needs to be a 56. I currently have a 60 on the ACT, so after my sophomore year, I'm on track to be eligible, barely, but eligible at the Division II level. I've got 10 units of core courses. I've got a 2.6 GPA on the sliding scale. I need to have at least a 56, and after my freshman year, I took it and scored a 60 on the ACT. So at the Division II level, as of right now, I'm eligible. And again, that's how to use the Division I sliding scale, Division II sliding scale in conjunction with your core GPA. The third section of your assignment looks at the process for registering with the eligibility centers. Have you registered with the NCAA or NAIA eligibility centers? If you have, you'll click here. If you haven't, you'll click here. If you haven't, these two links will take you to both the eligibility centers. This link will take you to the NCAA eligibility center. And when you get to this link, there's a big button here that says register. You can do that. If you've already registered, you can log in and see what your status is. The NAIA eligibility center is at this link. It will take you to Play NAIA, which is the place where you register for the NAIA eligibility center. You'll do that, or you'll sign in here. If you have not registered with the eligibility center, type in right here. Again, make that contract with yourself. When do you plan on registering with the eligibility center? I would recommend doing it by your sophomore year. By the end of your sophomore year, you should register with one or both of the eligibility centers. Now the next thing that I would do is print this off. You'll come up here, click on that right there, print this off. That way you've got a copy. You can keep it in front of yourself. It will serve as a sort of a goal card for you. It's got on it what your dream school is. It has where you've evaluated yourself and the 9 areas that college recruiters are going to look for. It will give you a snapshot of what you're doing well in. It'll give you a snapshot of areas here that you need to work on. It will let you know where you are academically as far as being eligible at the NCAA or in Division I or Division II level. will tell you how many core units, if you're on track as far as the core units you need to have. It will figure your core GPA for you. It will have information about your ACT, SAT test, what you need to score based on what your core GPA is right now. It will also include that contract you made with yourself as far as when you're going to take or retake the ACT test and when you're going to register with the eligibility centers. Print this off, put it where you can see it. It's a contract, it's a goal card, and it's a snapshot of where you are right now in the recruiting process. Are you where you need to be in the recruiting process? Are you doing what you need to be doing in order to get recruited and get that scholarship? If you have trouble downloading, navigating, or understanding this worksheet, just leave a comment down below and I will help you. Well, that wraps up another episode. As always, thanks for watching. And thanks for allowing me to join you and your family in this, your recruiting journey. That means a lot to me. You know the drill. Like, subscribe, and share. If you've been watching, you know these videos are and will always be free. But if you would like to assist me in continuing to help athletes and families that need this information, please take a look at my Patreon page, and there's a link down below. And consider becoming a patron and joining Team You Can Do More for as little as $1 a month. Everything helps. Good luck this week and keep doing everything in your power to become a remarkable, recruitable student athlete in the weight room, on the practice field, in the classroom, and in the halls of your school. And that includes completing this homework assignment. Come back next week and we look at the next purple cow quality that recruiters are going to be looking for: size.